Hi boys and girls, so today is Wednesday and today we will be going up to our 100 million. So we will be working with 9-digit numbers. Yesterday we worked with 8-digit numbers because we went up to the 10 million, and on Monday we worked with 7-digit numbers because we went up to 1 million. But today we're going to go up to the 100 million. Okay, so here we know that this is, let's review our periods again. And how many digits are in every period? Correct, 3. There's 3 digits in every period. So right here, boys and girls, what period is this? Your ones period. And again, I'm still going to continue labeling for a while, okay? Until we kind of get used to it. All right, and what is this next period? You're correct, our thousands period. And this one is green. And then our last period, well, for today is your millions period. What separates our periods? What do we have in between our periods? Your commas, right? Okay, so what we're going to do with our number, we're going to go ahead and plug in our number into our, we're going to plug in our number. I didn't realize you couldn't see it. Okay, we're going to plug in our numbers into our place value chart. Okay, so here we have our place value chart. Here we have our place value chart that we've labeled. And we're going up to the 100 millions, okay? So let's go ahead and do what we do with our number. Let's go ahead and underline and then circle your period, underline and circle your period and underline. So let's go ahead and write those first 3 digits. And since we have our ones period, thousands period, millions period, we're going to go ahead and write these 3 digits in our millions period, okay? So we're going to put 3, 5, 0. Our next 3 digits are 927. Our last 3 digits are 786. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see how we read this number. And remember, we read it by periods and we don't say the name of the period until we get to the comma. So this number you read 350 million 927 786. So 350 million 927 786. Again, remember you do not say the name of the period until you get to the comma. All right, so the place value of the 3. So the 3 is way over here. What place is that 3 in? It's in our 100 millions place. So we're going to write 100 million. And then we are going to do our word form. And we're going to do our word form the way we broke up our number, okay? So how do you read those? How do you read this period? How do you read these digits? 350. 350. What period is it in? Millions period, right? Because we got to the comma right there. 350 million. So I'm going to underline 350 and I'm going to circle million. 350 million. And then you get your comma. How do I read my next period? 927. 927 what? 1,000. So just write 927. Underline your number and circle your period. 927,000. Circle the period. And then my last period I read, how do I read this one? 786. And I underline my number. Expanded notation. It's where you write your parentheses and how many groups are in that place. So here I have 3 groups of 100 million. So 3 times 100 million. Now you're probably wondering, how am I going to remember how many zeros I'm going to need? Well, first of all, remember that the 3 is in the 100 million. So how do you write 100? Well, 100, right? 100. And then million. So you know that after the million, you have the thousands period. And how many digits are in your thousands period? 3. So you're going to write your 3 zeros. What's after your thousands period? Yes, your ones period, right? Your ones period. And how many digits do I have in my ones period? 3. So that's going to be 3 zeros. Plus 5 in the 10 million. So 5 times 10 million. I need my thousands period. So I have 3 zeros. And then I need my ones period. And that's 3 zeros again. Plus, I have 0 million, so I don't have to write that. Now I'm going to go to my 9. 9 is in my 100,000s. Parentheses, 9. Remember that the multiplication sign is just telling you how many groups you have of that. So 9 groups of 100,000. So there's 100,000, and then your 3 zeros. Plus 2 10,000s. 2 times 10,000. Plus 7,000. 7 times 1,000. Plus 700. 7 times 100. Plus 8 tens. 8 times 10. Plus 6 ones. 6 times 1. That's your expanded notation because you're taking notes. Just think of it as taking notes. Taking notes on every digit. Okay? The value of the 7 in the thousands place. So we know that the 7 has a value of 7,000. Okay? So there's 7,000. So the value of 7,000, we're comparing it to the number in the 7 in the hundreds place. So here's your hundreds place. So this digit has a value of 700. So there's 700. So 7,000, is it greater or less than 700? Greater, right? So we're going to write here greater. So we know that it's going to be how many times greater? 10 times greater. So the value of the 7 in the thousands place is 10 times the value of the 7 in the hundreds place. So all this means is that 7,000 is 10 times greater than 700. Okay, so then we're going to do standard form, letter B. And again, we're doing place value 3A, page 1, and we're on letter B. All right, so my standard form. So I'm not going to do this in color. I'm just going to write my periods on the top. This is my ones period. This is my thousands. And this is my millions period. And they're all separated by what? Your commas. Don't forget your commas, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and write this first. How do I say those 3 numbers? How do I say these 3 digits when I put them together? What number do they make? 841. So we're going to write 841, underline it, and then we have a comma. And we're going to circle that because that is in the millions. I'm going to put an M right there so I can remember it's millions. How do I say this number right here in my thousands period? 658. So I'm going to write 658. And then I put my comma, so that is my thousands period. So we'll put a TH right there to remind us that we're going to say 1,000 right there. And our last number in our ones period is 379. 379. Oops, I forgot to underline my numbers. There you go. So underline them. Now the value of the 5. So here's my 5. My 5 is in the 10,000s. So That's the value of the digit 5, but they're not asking me for the value. They're asking me for the place. The place value of the 5 is 10,000. Okay, then we're going to do word form. So word form, 841 million. So let's write 800. We're going to underline 841, and then we're going to circle million. Then let's read the next 3 digits. 658. 658 what? 1,000. So let's write 658. Underline 658, and that is in the thousands period, right? 658,000. We're going to circle the word thousand. And then 379. And I'm going to underline that. Now my expanded notation. So for expanded notation, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write how many groups I have in that place. So I have 8 groups of 100 million. 8 times 100 million is my comma. And I know I have 3 zeros in my thousands period, 3 zeros in my ones period. Plus 4 in the 10 million. So 4 groups of 10 million, 3 zeros in my thousands, 3 zeros in my ones period. 1 million plus 1 group of 1 million, 3 zeros in my thousands, 3 in my ones period. Plus 6 in my 100,000s, 6 groups of 100,000, plus 5 groups of 10,000, 5 groups of 10,000, plus 8 groups of 1,000, plus 3 groups of 100, plus 7 groups of 10. Oh, sorry, I didn't know y'all couldn't see. There, 7 groups of 10 plus 9 groups of 1. Oh, boys and girls, I'm sorry. I didn't notice I was going down. So hopefully you got to see most of it. Okay, so pause it if you still need to keep going. I'm going to go ahead and move on to page 2, C and D. You can do those as practice with some help. If you need help, make sure you email me. Or if it's still between 9 and 11, you can get on and ask me for help on C and D. Now this is independent work. This is by yourself. I want to see what you can do on your own. And that will be page 3B, page 1. 3B, page 2. And that's all you have for today. 3B, page 1 and 3B, page 2. For independent work. So that means on your own, okay?